Well, Coach, you came into Lincoln. You were here before, came back. What do you like about just the place you're at right now and the potential you have at Northstar?
Well, what I like is right now Lincoln is growing north, and obviously they're building another high school, which is going to affect our enrollment a little bit. But you go to North Lincoln and you see houses are popping up everywhere. So just the potential of us being able to fill the school again very quickly. The growth out there, the talent is starting to spread a little bit more to the north side as well. Just the trend in house building in North Lincoln is something that I like because more bodies are coming in.
And just getting everybody on the same page, has that been a challenge? And how do you kind of like where that's at now with 3 years under your belt?
Yeah, we just graduated a class of 35 kids. And when I first got there, we had very small upperclassmen groups. They had some talent, and they were very small. Where, graduating that 35 kids, that meant some of the younger kids could play at the JV and the freshman level, not have to move up quite as quickly, and got them more time to be able to get better in game, get better just in practice, got more reps that way as well.
And then, looking at your defense right now, we talk about young guys. Cade is really impressive, as an outside kind of edge setter for you. What did he do for you this past season?
He kind of he popped off a little bit for us, where he was a physical presence for us. He's smart enough to play multiple positions, be able to move him around. And as a sophomore, we didn't want to put too much on his plate. He's probably going to give us more of an offensive threat next year as well. And he was kind of an enforcer defensively, loves hitting. Against Lincoln Pius, really kind of took it up a notch, started showing his emotions a little bit more. And when he plays within himself, but with that emotion, he's a scary kid on the field.
So on offense, tight end or fullback, where do you guys play?
Kind of an H-back. We'll be able to move him around a little bit. And to be honest with you, I think he's a big enough kid that in short yardage situations, you can get him the ball going downhill and be able to make a movement.
Yeah, it sounds like the growth he made as a sophomore. I mean, you have to be really excited about his junior year, and you compared him off camera a little bit to Luke Reimer, how he kind of really matured as well when he was at Northstar.
Yes, and he's probably not quite as explosive speed-wise as Luke, but he's a little bit bigger body kid, and so he's his mindset though when he finishes plays is very similar to that with Luke, where when he tackles somebody, when he hits somebody, you can hear it, and Cade's got that potential.
And then Caden, another guy that's really impressive as a big defensive back. You don't see safeties 6'3" too often. What do you like about Caden?
Caden, over the quarantine area last spring, he came back 5 inches taller. He really grew into himself a little bit, loves the weight room. He's just passionate about putting extra weight on. He's asking me, what weight do you want me at? So he knows that he's got some room to grow body-wise, but he was just a stud for us on special teams early on in the year, and really became kind of a stalwart on our defensive backfield side, where we trusted him against top receivers. We trusted him setting the edge as an outside backer. He's walking down as a safety. So he's, again, another kid who gives us flexibility.
And as far as recruiting, I mean, have you heard much on those two kids from teams right now? Or is it, with COVID, it's been probably difficult to get eyeballs on these guys?
Yeah, COVID it's changed so much. Even for our seniors this year, schools can't come into the building in Lincoln. And so just access to be able to know where kids are interested, make those relationships with coaches. So the younger guys really have kind of been put on the back burner. I really hope this summer offers some opportunities for them to go to camps, because I think when they go to camps, these kids, they walk in, they've got good frames, they've got good skill sets, they're good measurables, that I think once they see them move on a field in drills and camps, they're going to really get more attention.
And you say good frames, your freshman team. A lot of good-looking kids on that team. In fact, when they walked in the room, I think all of us were like, "These are freshmen."
Yeah. The biggest kids in this group are the freshmen, and so that's something that we can build on. It's a good foundation with freshman, sophomore, back-to-back years, and they're going to be leaned on because we got to replace a lot of starters from last year, and they're going to have to grow up quick.
So will a lot of these freshmen be put into mean, you're not just giving them, but will they have a pretty good chance to win starting jobs as sophomores? Or?
Yeah, I mean they're gonna compete, and we do it 2 platoons, so they're gonna get more reps, more ability to develop their skill set throughout the year. There's a few kids that'll play both sides of the ball, but for the most part, we want to spend more time developing them, focusing on their best skill, and giving them a chance to win a job.
Your running back in that freshman group, what number was he again?
23.
And he rushed for how many at that level?
1,600 yards in 7 games. So yeah, and there's a couple games he only played about half the game as well.
And you did those kids dress for you on varsity at all at the end of the year even, or you just kept them together?
In a normal year, they would have. However, with COVID, there was huge restrictions on we couldn't cross over our levels. So the freshmen couldn't practice or suit up with the varsity. And so they missed out on a couple opportunities there where we could have found them a way to get them on the sidelines. But my hope is that as we move forward, that's not an issue.
Yeah, in some ways they built probably a better bond on a lower level, learning how to win together. And
that's exactly right, because we've struggled with our record for several years now, and one of the biggest things we wanted was our freshmen to have success, and had a winning record. Really kind of formed bonds where these kids hadn't played together before, so even just getting in a relationship situation where they know each other a little bit more, they can trust each other, that's a huge piece of that freshman level. So when they grow, it's a 4-year process where they're bought in and they fight for each other.